We are going to get started with our post-race media availabilities for today's Food City 500 here at Bristol Motor Speedway with the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. We are joined by our second place finisher, Clint Bowyer, the driver of the number 14 Haas Automation Demo Days Ford. This is Clint's 11th top 10 finish in 23 races here at Bristol, and your fourth so far this year. Clint, pretty good run out there. Why don't you talk about it for us?
Yeah, what a day. You know, starting off, I was way too loose and fell way back. You know, just missed it. You know, fell, heck, last car in the lead lap. Mike made some great adjustments all day long. The pit crew was on their game all day long and gained spots almost every time. And then I lost them all back on pit road speeding. Went to the back again, and then you know, drove back up through them and you know, got ourselves in position there. Mike made a good call of putting me in a position of one of the first cars on four tires there. I think 48 was the other one, and he won the race. So the right strategy was there. The team effort was there. You know, that's what a weekend's all about. It's just, you know, it's been this long since I've won. You know, racing here is pretty special. It'd have been pretty cool to be over there in victory lane.
All right, we'll open up to questions. We'll start up front with Joe.
I guess me. Zach Catan's already front stretch. You know, describe the mindset when you get into second place. You got Jimmy about a second in front of you.
Sucks.
Yeah, does it ratchet up? Does it get more intense for you?
It does, you know, and then, you know, you're watching your lap times and you're adjusting everything you can possibly adjust, you know, from a track bar adjustment to your adjusting your line on the racetrack, just trying every little thing you can possibly do. And, you know, it was like I could gain on him one lap and then he'd, you know, gain on me the next, and then it just kind of fell by the wayside. Kind of realized that, you know, it was a second place day.
Before we continue with questions, we're also joined by our sixth place finisher, Kyle Larson, driver of the number 42 Credit One Bank Chevrolet. Kyle also won the first stage of this race. Kyle, talk a little bit about that. You came back from a late speeding penalty as well to finish there in the top 10.
Yeah, we had a good car, really good, that first stage, and to start that second stage. And then once the track got rubbered in, I had to search around a lot. I couldn't run the bottom as good as the 78 and the 22, and the 77 was really good down there. So, and then late in the race there, once the top got rubbered in, I could get up there really early in a run and go fast, and still not be quite as fast as those guys at the end of the runs, but I was really good the first, you know, 2/3 of a run. So yeah, I got that speeding penalty. I was just, you know, pushing on pit road and messed up there, and I had to gamble on two tires, and the balance was okay on two, but I just didn't have the speed, I guess the grip that the 48 and the 14 had to run the bottom. I knew I couldn't go down there and get by the four, so I was trying to maybe set them up top, but it was a lot of fun there. The three of us were racing hard for the lead for a few laps, and you know, had some traffic, so I thought the racing was great. The track changed a lot throughout the race, and was extremely exciting. So I don't know what more you could ask out of this place. This is the best track we go to, most exciting place, and I love coming here.
All right, we'll get back to questions. You want to go back up front to Joe? And then we'll go to Jerry.
Yeah. Joe Menzer, FoxSports.com. Clint, how much fun are you having, and did you know you had a car like this all weekend, or was it just something you guys had to work on?
Well, we had good speed, you know, in practice most of the weekend, and to be honest with you, when we took off, I was really struggling for grip, way loose, you know, on that first run, and lost all my track position. I mean, heck, I almost went a lap down there. You know, we just kept working on it. I mean, that's a cool thing about being with a team like this, with an organization like this, having teammates, you know, like I do. I mean, it's just, you can continue to work on it and get it better and better and better. And just like Kyle, I made a mistake on pit road and got caught, you know, speeding, and we was able to capitalize on that even and get ourselves in position to have a shot at winning the race. And that's all a credit to this race team and the organization that you know, that I signed on for a long time ago. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. You start getting that close to wins, you know what I mean? You can't let too many of those go by the wayside. You got to use those opportunities and capitalize on those opportunities. But definitely a confidence and momentum builder for sure. Yep.
We'll go to Jerry.
Jerry Jordan, kickingthetires.net, PRN, over here to your left. Clint, what was going through your head? You were fast there at the closing laps. Were you wishing ill will on Jimmy as you were trying to gain on him?
Well, I mean, you never really wish ill will. I mean, you just hope something, you know what I mean? I mean, it was one of those deals where I gained on him a little bit in the first few laps that I got in second, and I was really hard on my stuff, and then you start doing stupid stuff, you know, trying to free it up, putting more rear brake in it and stuff that is, probably not going to work, but you're just desperate and trying anything you can possibly do. Started getting loose in, and then I just kind of had to protect and ride. So it is frustrating. You can see him out there, but, I mean, damn it. You'd think he'd get tired of winning all these races.
We'll go to Kelly next.
Kelly Crandall, Racer.com, one for Kyle and one for Clint. Kyle, did you know you were pushing it on pit road there, and at that point, did you think that the race was over?
Yeah, I knew I was pushing it because, so to start the race, I was the leader. I'd run, all my greens down pit road, and then once I fell back, it was behind the 22 down pit road. He would pull me, and so I started running, an extra light into my one red. He was running a lot more mile per hour around the corner over here, and so yeah, down the straightaway I was running one red and flashed the second red real quick, and I guess that was all she wrote. So yeah, I knew I gave the race away there. I was surprised that I was able to line up with an opportunity there at the end. We lucked out taking 2, and then the 78 sped, and it lined us up 4th. So thought maybe if I could get the top going quick and get by Kevin, I could get the win. But I think even if I was able to get to the lead, I don't think I would have won because Jimmy and Clint were way faster than I was, and they were over a straightaway ahead of us, I think, at the checkered flag. So yeah, disappointed myself. I think I speed on pit road every single time I come to Bristol, so got to clean that up.
And for Clint, is it kind of hard to balance right now where you're excited because you're running well, but you're still pissed because you're not able to break through? Because in Fontana it was almost, you seem to have that same attitude. It's almost bittersweet, I guess, in a way.
It's called racing. It's been that way my whole life since I was about 5 years old. I mean, you struggle and struggle and struggle for a year and a half here, and hell, next thing you know, you're being greedy for about second. You know what I mean? It's just the way racers are wired, and the way it's always been. Having a ton of fun and working hard and seeing the results is gratifying, for this race team. I mean, we need sponsorship on the side of this car other than the boss, and good runs like this and positive momentum and mojo's a good way to do that.
We'll come over here to the left to Tucker and then go to Bob.
Tucker White, SpeedwayMedia.com. Kyle, I noticed a lot of guys who were in the lead, including yourself, were often jumping up to the top line whenever the second guy was getting up too close. What made that work better than just holding them off on the bottom?
It's hard to keep your momentum up on the bottom, and the bottom seems to be faster here for 20 or 25 laps, and then once you get to, it seems like 3 and 4 slows down quicker around the bottom. It slows down quicker than it does in 1 and 2, so you can pop up around the top there. So yeah, it's just all about timing that right. In that second stage, Joey was really close behind me, and I actually beat him to the top of 3 and 4 and started pulling away a little bit, and then he moved up there, and then the 78 was really good around the bottom. So it's just a awesome racetrack where you have options to move around, and makes the racing really competitive and exciting.
Come over here to Bob.
Bob Hawker, CSPN. Clint, I assume at the end you're just hoping for Jimmy to make a mistake, right? I mean, is that?
Not even. You know better than that. It's
Well,
Jimmy Johnson. You're just, you're starting to, you try everything you possibly can, like I said, and I was starting to do some pretty desperate things with brakes and my line and stuff like that, and then you realize your mindset quickly changes, and you're like, all right, let's put it in perspective here. We come a long ways. It was a long day, and second place is probably a good run for us, and we should be happy with that. We shouldn't hang our head about it.
I mean, I know Johnson has good cars and everything.
Turns out he's pretty good,
well,
too.
I mean, the question is,
Yeah,
does
I don't know that I would take anything away from Jimmy.
Well, does he make fewer mistakes when he's in that position than other guys?
He's just faster. Turns out he's pretty good. I don't think it's a matter of making mistakes. I mean, he's just, he's a 7-time champion. I mean, it's all you can say about it.
We'll go to
It's good to
Stan.
know that you're trying to outrun and frustrated with having the best that's probably ever been beat you. I mean, I guess there is something to say about that. He's still a butthole.
We'll go to Stan.
Yeah, Kyle talked about this. Clint, the racing surface itself, how well did it feel to you?
I don't think you really. I mean, I know that everybody wants to see, you know, that Bristol of old and you know, ring around the bottom and us beating and banging and moving cars. And I'm telling you, the workload, the effort that you put into driving that car, you can't drive them any harder than that. I mean, it's a qualifying lap almost every single time. I think they've done a great job of creating that environment. You know, Kyle and I were just talking, it really is an ever-changing racetrack, a lot like a dirt track. You know, and even within runs, not so much just within the day, within a run. You know, start on the bottom, you'll get up there and find something on the outside, and hell, by the end of the run, you might be right back on the bottom and find a better grip and better speed down there. I mean, it's a ton of fun to be able to race like that. And it's extremely challenging, and I hope that we can sell that and do a good job of selling that, because if we can, I don't know how else to do it, because I'm telling you, I've been doing this a long time, and that's about as hard as you know, I've ever drove them in my life. I mean, it's a qualifying lap every lap.
All right, Clint and Kyle, thanks for joining us. Good luck next week at Richmond.
Hope I have a ride.